next process I'm going to talk about is compression molding. Compression molding is known for having very simple molds because no sprue or runner is required. However, it is limited due to the fact that the mold must be heated and it is limited to simpler parts and part geometries. So first, shown on the left side there, a charge is loaded into the mold. Next, the charge gets compressed as the mold is closed, and then also in this stage, the charge is also cured. And finally, in step 4, the knockout pin will eject the molded part from the mold cavity, and it can be removed. So again, this is very beneficial because the molds are simple and they don't, with having no sprue and runner, and then this process also doesn't produce much scrap. Finally, the final process I'll be talking about is thermoforming. Thermoforming is taking a flat thermoplastic sheet or film and heating it and deforming it to its desired shape using a mold. There are 3 different types I'll be covering. First, in vacuum thermoforming, a plastic sheet is heated, shown on the top left. Then the sheet is once the sheet is softened by heating, it's placed over a concave mold cavity, shown in step 2. In the bottom left, step 3, the vacuum is drawn in from the bottom, sucking the plastic film onto the walls of the mold, which are cold, and then once the plastic touches the cold walls, it will harden and it can be removed in step 4. This process can also be repeated with a positive mold, where they basically just the mold would be convex instead of concave. Pressure thermoforming is very similar to vacuum thermoforming, except for pressurized air is blown in to push the plastic film onto the walls of the mold, as opposed to a vacuum being drawn out through the bottom. And then finally, in mechanical thermoforming, again the plastic sheet is heated, except there is no pressure or vacuum used. There's just a positive mold that gets mechanically pushed to push the plastic film onto the walls of the mold.